What's up, guys? Crafty here, and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Yes, it is a glorious road we weave. Just seeing some players sell here due to the SBCs that were obviously still going at the moment, to be fair, but came in last Friday. I knew they were kind of coming about, so we kind of saved our players until then. Sacco went for 6.9, which was pretty tasty. Every little coin helps. So it just goes to show keeping the players in your club till they're kind of at a price that's worth selling is definitely relevant. It's just a bit of a slow burn to wait for your coin. So obviously, guys, you saw in the last episode, we got absolutely screwed by EA. Thankfully, this batch of games, we don't occur too much in the way of getting screwed, which is always nice. Picking up a nice victory there. Look at the stats there. 15 shots, 13 on target. I really need to be a bit more prolific. So any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Moving on to kind of our first batch of Sunday's games. As I said in the last episode, it got a little bit confusing at the end. We played 31 games on Sunday, which was a bit of a mammoth task. So I kind of done it in 3 batches, kind of just to spread it out a little bit and give myself a little bit of a break. But it was a hell of a lot of FIFA. But it was good. We enjoyed it. We were scoring some nice goals. Teams performing reasonably well. You obviously saw kind of the teams that we're using. A few little changes that we made throughout. But in this episode, we do sign a couple of big players. So we thought it was time. We're hanging on to our coins to potentially buy someone quite big. We had a kind of eye on Inform Walcott potentially. But I thought, well, we got the coins. It's silly not to improve this team. I left this replay in, by the way, because look at that. Bailey just gets the ball there. So I don't know what that decision's all about for a penalty. Yeah, he took him down, but the ball was got first with his right foot, followed by his left. So, pretty frustrating to concede a penalty there. But we get super lucky putting that one through the goalkeeper's legs to kind of get, make a bit of a comeback. We pull it back to 4-3. But unfortunately for us, we were not good enough to continue in this vein. So it did finish 4-3, so picking up a loss, which is not ideal. Yeah, a bit pretty frustrated to go out like that. But to be fair, he was the better player. So I don't mind losing those games. If they're the better player, I'll quite happily admit that to you guys. I'm not scared. I'm not scared saying someone's better than me, as frustrating as it is sometimes. So, kind of moving on. Coming against some good teams, guys. Coming up against that Dembele a lot and Aubameyang this weekend. Didn't really come up against them that much last weekend, but this weekend just gone, came up on quite a bit. But fortunately for us, Aubameyang wasn't that deadly, which is always nice. Found a new corner technique, which will probably be in a future video, guys, that seems to be pretty prolific. Didn't really figure out until after this FUT Champions weekend, so we're still playing it short. But more on that, I suppose, as and when I can show you footage. Been playing some D1 games. Coming up against some insane teams and some really good players, but managing to grind out results against them. So that's quite positive. Hopefully we can do better next weekend or this weekend coming as you're watching this and progress and get into that Gold 1 potentially elite. We're on for elite for the monthlies. Obviously a long way to go, but that 24? I think you got to get 2. I think it's for 3 lots of 24, and then the 25 will get you elite for the month. So I think it's 97 wins, which is doable, guys, because we're just over that threshold of coming just under Gold 1. So if we can get to a point where we have a couple of weeks where we're just over, we should be pretty hunky-dory to kind of get there. Dembele gets super unlucky there, but what a finish this is by Lacazette. I'm really loving those finesse shots from the top of the box. If you've got someone with decent shooting, I'd definitely try them out. They're pretty tasty indeed. Walcott getting an attempt off, but it falls quite nicely, and Ben Arthur puts that one away. So that puts us 2-0 up on this game. Against a fairly decent player, but he had enough at that point and rage quit. So we'll take the rage quits. Again, I don't know whether it's a rating. I mean, he's only 2-0 down. It was quite early on still, but whether this is a problem EA had with disconnects all weekend or people were just generally rage quitting, I don't know, but we'll take it nonetheless. So nice 2-0 victory there. You see, we're only 20 minutes into the game. All right, to be fair, he didn't even have a shot on goal. But that sees us move up onto 8 wins, and we come up against another pretty good team, quite similar to mine in many ways, with that Inform Maccardi, Inform Insigne up top. We know how beastly they can be at times, so I was very worried about that. Martial plays a nice ball into Ben Arthur, does a nice little turn, slots that one into Walcott, and I actually put it across goal for a change. So definitely something I've been working on is trying to bring players in the game and just kind of change up the kind of way, because I'm a bit narrow-minded. Once I see my eyes on goal, I'm like, right, I'm shooting, and I'm not really paying attention to who's around me, and there's easy tap-ins a lot of the time. So I'm trying to work on that in my game as much as I can, and we score a really nice goal in that vein right there. So normally I'll probably just turn and shoot with Ben Arthur, but I thought, well, let me try and slot that. I see Martial coming, so I'm trying to bring that into my game. What I really wanted to talk about as well with you guys is changing up formation. I'm really tempted to change it in-game to the 4-1-2-1-2. All the pros use it, and pretty much most of the top 100 players. So there's got to be something about it. We did try it in one weekend league, and we got the exact same we did the weekend before. So it doesn't work any worse for us, I suppose, in that vein, but it didn't work any better. So we got to kind of look at that and think, is it worthwhile doing? I wouldn't mind trying it, but I think what I'm going to do is try it in D1, see how I get on with it. And yeah, just kind of test it out, because if we can grind those extra 2 wins out, say a week, if we get an extra 2 wins a weekend. Last weekend we would have hit Elite for the monthlies, and we would have hit Gold 1 every week as opposed to Gold 2. So if it can make even that small minute bit of difference for us, it can make a big difference. So yeah, definitely worth trying. Obviously we've been running with the 4-3-3-4 for a little while now. We did start originally FIFA with this formation, and I loved it straight away. We tried the 4-3-2-1. We tried that out, and that was working okay for us, but it wasn't working as well. I think we then tried the 4-1-2-1-2, and then finally I decided to go back to the 4-3-3-4. So we tried a few different formations. I've also tried the 5-2-2-2. I'm going to say the 5-2-2-2. So yeah, the 5-2-2-2. No, I don't know. I'm getting confused now. Maybe it's 5-2-2-2. So 2 CMs, you've got 2 wingers, and then the striker up top with 5 at the back with wing backs. We tried that in draft. We absolutely dominated draft, but tried it not in draft, and it wasn't working out for us. So we scrapped that idea. So it's all about trial and error, guys. So I suggest if something's not working for you, or you want to improve a little bit, if it's not broke, don't fix it. I'm definitely an advocate of that. However, I think if we can find different ways to kind of manipulate, and trying to take advantage as much as we can, and we can trial it in the right scenario, it's worth doing. So I don't know, guys. I'll try it in D1 and see how I get on, and I'll kind of let you know. Still been kind of chipping away at my D1, and obviously we're not kind of there. We haven't got the right team to win it yet for us, because we're not as good as the majority of people we come up in D1, and it is really sweaty. I would say it's definitely more difficult than FUT Champions, because to be fair, all the decent players, they got nowhere to go during the week. So what they tend to do is probably buy a new player, try out new teams, and they do it all in D1. Very much like what we're doing. So it's really competitive, and I should imagine it's probably a struggle if you're not in D1 to actually get in D1. Unfortunately, I think I said in the previous episode that we won every division on the way down. We did, apart from Division 2 where we got promoted. I think we missed out by 1 point or something ridiculous, but we didn't win D2. So if we do get relegated, to be fair, it won't be the end of the world, because I would like to pick up that D2 title. But yeah, we go down and lose 4-2 there, which is pretty frustrating. And again, to be fair, he was just probably a little bit better than me. So, I'll take those on the chin. So yeah, we're moving on up. You're kind of spamming some games here. So we're now on 10 wins out of 24, with 24 remaining. So we've lost 6. 2 of them was because of EA, 1 was questionable because of EA. So imagine if we won those 3, we'd be in pretty good stead. But we're coming up against some amazing teams, and yeah, I need to find ways to generate coins quicker, because the bronze pack method isn't as reliable as it was. You can definitely make coins on it, but it's slow and not as many, because the SBC seem to dry up and not use as many bronze players, which is a little bit frustrating. So yeah, we need to find other ways of making coins, and to be fair, just playing games is just one of those ways. So the more we can play, the better. But with doing this and FUT Champions weekends and trying to have a life and work is a thankless task. So yeah, guys, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll be quite interested to know how many games you play each week. And obviously stick a big thumbs up on the video if you're still around, because we've had a few drop off recently, which is a bit sad. But if you're still with us, you're still going strong, you're still loving the content, please smack a like. I'd be interested. And yeah, comment, let me know how many games you fit in a week. Do you manage to get all your FUT Champions games done? Is it a struggle? Is it a hassle? Because I've got quite a good idea that I'd like to talk to you guys about, but I think I'll save it for the next episode, because we're getting towards the end of this episode, and it could be a bit of a run for me. So we'll save that for the next episode, but it's just a different way for how the weekend league could work, and potentially it could work in everyone's favour, and it'll be a lot kinder on us all. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And obviously we can have a discussion about that in the next episode. Obviously, guys, I'm always up for discussions. Anything you want to talk about, any players you suggest, put them down in the comments section below, and I always will talk about them on video, and I will always comment back to you to kind of give you a reason why I think, or a reason why I shouldn't, or ask a few more details. This game is really frustrating. He brought on Giovinco to run straight through the middle of my team. I just couldn't defend. My players just wouldn't move into position. And same again there. I pulled across. I knew again I was going to miss out there, so I tried to slide in just to take him out or something. I just couldn't get near him. So we ended up losing that game when we were in a pretty comfortable position and probably the better player there. So that was really frustrating. Subs can really make an impact, but sometimes they don't. So it's a bit frustrating knowing when when not to make those decisions. Yeah, Asamoah. Yeah, I was bigging him up last weekend. He wasn't as good this weekend. It was just his passing, I think, lets him down sometimes. He can pass really well, and other times he's just shocking. So, yeah, definitely someone we're looking to change in the very near future. But my guy gets in here and draws it up to 1-1. Gomez dancing around like he does best. A bit of a foul there, get a bit lucky. 9-goal sees it and slots that one home. Had an issue, I think I spoke about this in the last video, just with the power on my crossbody shots. So hopefully starting to figure that out a little bit more and get a bit better at that. And kind of just, knowing how to finish better. I'm just kind of watching how other people finish and what's kind of possible, but within that respect, when I'm a few goals up and trying stuff that's a little bit different, a bit new, and just seeing what else I can get away with. And it seems those near post shots are becoming more overpowered than they were. Last year, near post shots were just incredibly insane. You could just get like some crazy goals, just literally aim and just blast it and it would go flying in. Goalkeeper couldn't save them for toffee. So, yeah, definitely starting to bring a little bit more of that and get into my game. This guy here, his Eriksen, I just couldn't control him. He was everywhere, just running the game, scoring goals, popping off shots. But my man was a decent player, just knocked the ball around nicely. Eriksen setting up Kane there, and we go 2-0 down. Unfortunately, that's the way it stood, and I just couldn't get back into the game. But you look at the shots here I've had more shots on target than him, better possession, better shot accuracy, better pass accuracy. On paper there, I was a better player. I felt like I was in the game. I just couldn't finish. And I just have games like that where the game just won't let me finish. I don't ever seem to get into that opportunity where I just have a clear open shot at goal. People always there in the way to block. And it's really frustrating. So again, maybe something I need to work on and create a bit more space and how to open up the play. unfortunately, coming up against this guy, he had Bale on the right-hand side and switched him and Marshall, which is a pretty good tactic, to be fair, because Bale's right foot is pretty weak. But yeah, gets in here, lays that one off to Robin, and we go 2 down. So, yeah, pretty frustrating. I hate going on these little loss streaks. Obviously, no one's a fan of it, but when you do so well, yeah, it's a bit frustrating. I actually rage quit out of that game. It was 3-0 down in the first 20 minutes. And I wasn't sticking around to take even more of a batting. Obviously, we had 31 games to get through, so I didn't have the time to mess about getting smashed. But yeah, GG to that play. It was pretty good. And coming up against a really tough opponent, you can see me getting a bit tilted there, sliding in all over the place. Probably taking my last loss into this one, or the last couple of losses, but decided to have a word myself, took myself outside, put myself on the naughty step, and had a word with myself and got myself back into this game. Insigne getting on the score sheet, which is a reasonably rare occurrence for him. Gomez doing what he does best, slotting in Icardi, and he slots that one home. Manolas, don't know how he didn't win that first ball. Terrible pass by him, puts in Marshall. And we go 3-2 down, and it doesn't get any better from here, really. He puts Rashford through. I mean, what is that? What? Just tell me what that is. If you didn't see that, go back and watch that. That is just absolutely ridiculous. More EA aids for us. We managed to get a penalty to bring it back to 4-3. But yeah, we don't end up taking the win. You can see again there, I'm a better player on paper. My passing accuracy is better, my shot accuracy is better, I'm making more chances. So there's something just missing in my game now. I'm putting it down to my team. I think I've just 1 or 2 players that I'm not 100% happy with. Like, they're effective for us, but they aren't those like god players, the god tier players. So yeah, it's frustrating. I don't know. It's hard. Like, when I watch my gameplay back, what's this for a free kick, mind you? This is just pick that out. Something, I just, when I kind of look back and edit these videos up, I wish I had time to I can't even speak now, reevaluate my kind of gameplay, and kind of get to know it and understand it a little better, and see what I'm kind of doing wrong. But with such a tight time scale, it's just not possible. So yeah, just one of those things, really. But we just have to be more prolific. If we're more prolific, we'll win more games. Simple as that. So that is just the way it is. So guys, we're coming up to the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. You see us right here picking up some superstars. We picked Willian up to replace Walcott, and you'll see in just a second we pick up Chiellini and replace Koulibaly. Just thought we needed those next tier players. Came up against them a lot and they done really well. So I picked these players up to improve our team no end. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. So hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, comment, rate and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Peace.